where the get-together was happening.
That's when I saw it.
Oh, no.
Okay, so over 46% of people in monogamous relationships cheat.
Which means it's either you or your partner.
So we're going to share the 4 worst cheating stories.
So you can avoid these situations.
Each story is going to get a lot crazier, and we're going to start with story number 4.
My cousin is marrying a cheater who has a secret child, but there's something they don't know.
More than the cheating and more than the secret child.
My 32 female cousin, 34 female, Victoria is a doctor and is engaged to another doctor, Victor, 35 male. Wow, Victor and Victoria. That's kind of hilarious.
Try being original.
Yeah, beep bomb. Victor and Victoria have been engaged for 2 years now and are finally getting married.
2 years is somewhat long of an engagement, right?
It's becoming normal, but
Is it normal?
I think so.
What's the point of asking someone to marry you if you're not going to marry them?
The wedding is planned for this Saturday, religious, civil, and reception. All of the events. They have a friend in common, another doctor, Emily, 34 female, who's going to be a bridesmaid. You can guess where I'm going.
I can't guess yet.
But I see you in the comments if you know before saying. This past Friday, Victoria had her bachelorette and we left the city to have a spa day and then returned to the city to go to the party to this fancy club. But we never made it to the club. We returned from the spa town to Emily's home before getting changed to go to the party. At some point, Victoria, the bride-to-be, announced that she was feeling sick and locked herself in the bathroom. My first thought, obviously, was that she ate something that didn't sit well with her. Roughly an hour later, I managed to coax her out and she asked me to take her home. I'm meant to be the maid of honor, so taking care of her falls to me.
Okay.
I called the Uber and took her to my place, and then she told me everything.
Okay.
When we were dressing, she was in the kitchen and she saw a notification from her fiance on Emily's phone. She'd left it to charge there. At first, she thought it was a surprise planned for her, which makes sense, like coordinating something. But then another message came in with a more romantic tone, and another one. That's when she got sick and ran to the bathroom.
While you are getting ready to be married.
Yep.
Maybe it's super hot.
Listen, what if all the bridesmaids, all of the groomsmen do it all together?
Do it all together.
Hey,
One
a big old
orgy. Okay, but basically not an open relationship. This is bad.
Cheating. I stayed with her through Friday evening and most of Saturday. Saturday evening, I dropped her at her place and she made me promise I wouldn't say a word to anyone. Low key, I wonder if she's planning on telling him that she knows at a certain place at a certain time.
Oh, like you bitch, like right in front of everyone.
What if? Do you take this man to be your husband?
No,
Actually,
that would slap.
Oh, okay. I agreed because I thought she wanted to end things on her own terms. Sunday and Monday were silent and everything seemed to be moving forward. Today, Tuesday, was our makeup trial, just the two of us, and she told me what happened with her fiance, Victor. Victoria told him nothing and waited for him to fall asleep. She unlocked his phone and checked it in the bathroom. She found the conversation with Emily's messages and began to read back to the top. They've been together for 6 months and she is pregnant. They don't have a baby together, but him and Emily do.
Oh my God.
She's urging Victor not to marry Victoria and marry her, Emily, instead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Victoria took a bunch of screenshots, but only showed me the one where Emily told Victor she was pregnant and a few of the ones where she begs him not to marry my cousin. I begged her again to cancel everything and tell our family why, but she insisted there's going to be a wedding and that I should trust her. I'm scared of her. How do I stop her? Okay, so
stop her doing what?
Stop her from doing the wedding. So we have an update coming up, but it seems like OP is getting kind of like afraid of what Victoria wants to do. Like she's afraid she's plotting something potentially super sinister, I think.
Like how sinister? Like murder or like revealing the truth in front of
the whole wedding? I feel like that would be fire.
I think it is deserved.
Yeah.
But like if you do something like that, you're forever attached to that too. Like I would never want to be associated with that much drama.
Yeah, just like end it and then you tell everyone like, oh yeah, he got my bridesmaid pregnant. Yeah. And like very matter of fact, like I ended the relationship, he cheated and got my bridesmaid pregnant.
Something like all like, fanfare in front of everyone.
But it would be so fire though.
It would be crazy. And so I'm hoping in this story that's what happens.
Well, we have the update.
Give it to me. Give me that update.
Oh, Victoria convinced her dad and 2 other cousins to go with Victor, his dad, and groomsmen to go camping on Thursday and Friday as a men's thing. Okay. She also asked me to visit her on Friday with a friend who is a vet. He has a horse trailer for his horse only, so she asked us to bring that too, if it's clean and unoccupied. Victor and Victoria moved in together when they became engaged, so she's moving out her things. She also said those 2 are ending up happy together over my dead body.
So,
or maybe more than one.
It doesn't seem like she's over it.
Which is fair.
Very fair.
The wedding plans are moving as usual. The plan is to take out her things on Friday and on Saturday morning. The bride's side gets ready at the apartment. Victor returns to his parents' house Friday evening, and he's getting ready there on Saturday morning. Those who were guessing revenge were right.
Yep, I am ready to sip this tea.
And I'm going to make a post on Sunday to tell you the rest of it. Okay, everyone right now, everyone watching, Sam and Riley, what is your prediction to how she's going to
what would be the revenge? And also, what revenge would you enact if you were in this place?
Yes.
So what I think she's doing, I think she's planning the Shrek, I object, I know what you did, let me tell everyone the dirty skank that you are. So I think that's what she's planning. What I would do is I would just not go to the wedding, tell him, I know what you did, we're done. And then whenever it came up, just say the truth.
On to the update. My uncle, dad, and a bunch of cousins took Victor, his dad, and the groomsmen to a town a couple hours away next to the camping park. This was Thursday afternoon, and after they left, I went to pick up Victoria, and she spent the night at my place. The next morning, my friend, let's call him Jack, came by with his horse trailer and a bunch of boxes. We spent the day packing and cleaning out every trace of Victoria from that apartment. The rental contract is under Victor's name, so Victoria won't be affected by leaving.
Get wrecked.
That's good. That's good. We loaded everything on Jack's trailer, which wasn't much because the furniture belonged to Victor, but it was all of her books, clothing, toiletries, shoes, etc. We only left the wedding items behind, which that is kind of a good calling card. Like, hey, I took everything except the dress and the flowers and everything.
Wow.
He was going to be waiting for us at the back of the venue because Victoria didn't want to stay after she was done with Victor.
Yep.
I also caught Jack loosening a few of the light bulbs at random just to mess with Victor.
That's funny. So like some of the lights just don't work.
He hates cheaters. Yeah. That is a good little
That's
mind
funny.
game.
That's pretty funny.
Victoria's things are currently sitting in Jack's office, and Victoria again came to sleep at my place. For this, Victoria had asked me to buy and wrap for a present a pair of baby's shoes, which I kept until the reception.
That feels like a burglar's calling card.
Oh, it's
like
I respect it.
Yeah.
Saturday morning shows up and we left early for the apartment to get ready. The makeup artist and stylist arrive. My aunt arrives and all of the bridesmaids, including Emily.
Oh my God.
Then we, the maid of honor and the bridesmaids, finish before the bride, and I send them downstairs to the building lobby so we can surprise them with the finished look of Victoria. After she was ready, we went downstairs and the elevator doors opened. My eyes went straight to Emily. The other girls were all celebrating and clapping and hugging Victoria. It was just seconds, but I saw her face fell and her eyes get shiny before she composed herself and hugged everyone, pretending to be happy. God. We all took a picture in the garden across the street from the building and then headed out to the church. We met the rest of the wedding party there. We do the groom's first look, the pictures, all that jazz. Victoria sent everyone inside to take places and asks me and Emily to come with her to this little chapel outside to fix something in Emily's dress. We're getting there. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen.
Getting to the home run.
That's when Victoria dropped the bomb on Emily. This I am quoting and translating from the video I took, which I absolutely won't share. Victoria, I'm glad you're here, and I brought you here, Emily, to tell you that I know all about the affair of yours and my fiance. I know you're pregnant, and it's Victor's. I've known since Friday evening. Emily, what are we gonna do? Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you do anything? Victoria, because I wanted us to reach this point. When you see me as a bride about to marry the man you say is the love of your life, to make sure that you know and understand, there's no way, even being pregnant with his baby, he's going to choose you over me. That he wants you for fun and he wants me for his life.
Oh, that is fucking brutal.
Cold. And you kind of got to give it to her. She didn't do it like at the chapel and like make a whole thing of it.
Dude, I'm getting chills.
Bro, that was this.
Damn, bro, that's cold-blooded.
So I took to the internet to Google Sam to see why people love him more than me. And then I saw it. Samuel Donner girlfriend. There was so much info out there. The personal information, the rumors, the pictures. None of us are safe out there. People can grab any information they want on you with just a few taps of a keyboard. So then I knew I had to protect my boy, and that's when I signed up for Aura. See, there are evil data brokers online that are constantly searching for your information and selling it to people. How dare they? But Aura can save the day, baby. Those evil data brokers, they're legally required to take your information off of them if you ask them to. But the thing is, they make it so hard it's dang near impossible. But not with Aura. You can let Aura do all the hard work for you and keep you safe online for a simple, affordable price that you don't need all kinds of other crazy tools to do. And so you don't end up like Sam. You can either continue to let people exploit and profit off of your personal information, or you can go to aura.com/OKOP and start your 2-week free trial. Yes, free. That's aura.com/OKOP. You can also find the link down in this description. Back to the show. After that, Emily said she was sorry and ran crying out of the chapel and the church. She was pale and very upset, and I have no idea where she is, and I don't care much. Victoria almost broke down too, but I left her to calm down and want to tell the rest of the bridal party that she needed a moment. That Emily felt ill and left, and Victoria got nervous because of it. I went back in with Victoria. I helped fix a little makeup and hair that was out of place, and we went back to the party, and the wedding went on. Just as planned.
Continued?
It's still going for now.
Still going.
Just as planned. Religious wedding first, then the civil wedding, and then to the reception. I noticed Victor counting the bridesmaids a couple of times, but I said nothing. Yeah, he's like, looks like Emily's out of here, so who's gonna be next? You know, I gotta get one of, I hope he's other eligible lady bachelors. We arrive at the venue. Everyone sits. The bride and the groom are presented to everyone. There's clapping, the meal starts, and at the end of the meal, when toasts are to come, Victoria drops bomb number 2.
Toast at the toast. She's doing it at the toast.
She stands up and asks me for the little gift box. Again, I'm quoting and translating from the video I took.
Oh my God.
Victoria, thank you all for being here with Victor and I, for coming to celebrate our wedding, our families, and our friends. As some of you have noticed, one of my bridesmaids, Emily, is not here right now. At the mention of Emily, Victor's smile fell off. Victoria, but I don't want her absence to ruin the party. I prepared a little surprise for my husband, Victor. Then she hands him the little box. He was trembling as he opened it up and took out little baby shoes. I could see faces start to light up, thinking Victoria was pregnant. Victor was pale as drywall. Victoria, and I want to congratulate him because even when I won't become a mom, he will become a dad of Emily's baby.
Oh,
bro.
Oh,
she's got the juice.
Dude, I would be like, if I was Victor, I would
run.
Be shitting my pants. I would cry and run. Dude. I would cry and run.
My God. The silence afterwards was absolutely terrifying, but we didn't stay to see the aftermath of everyone understanding what had just happened. We left through the kitchen and got into Jack's car without the trailer now and left. Victoria sent the screenshots revealing the pregnancy and the cheating to the family groups, ours and Victoria's, the wedding planning group, and their work group from the hospital. We're in another city in the next state now. We sent a message to our families that we're fine and that we've turned off the phones. I'm only taking this little time to do the much promised update. We will see what tomorrow brings.
Wow. I think that was some of the most like nuclear revenge that we've seen.
And like, I would say,
well thought out too.
Well thought out because I mean, like, look, she was insanely wronged. So, but there are options that could be, you know, potentially too nuclear. So maybe this is the question for everyone watching.
Did she go too far?
Did she go too far?
Did she go far enough?
Did she go far enough?
I feel like she definitely went far enough, right?
I think she went far enough. Yeah. But did she go too far?
I don't know. I don't know if I would ever do something like that.
I think personally I wouldn't, but like
I don't think she's an asshole necessarily for that.
Think about this too. Yeah. Like I don't think she's an asshole. Victor had all the chance in the world to tell her all of this before the wedding, right?
He didn't.
Because and he like went along with marrying her, which is like a huge, like she deserves that honesty that he never gave her. Of course. So his clock kind of ran out, and it's like, well, the ball's in my court now, buddy.
And I am going to swing for the fences.
I'm going to Michael Jordan windmill slam dunk and break the backboard on your ass.
Yeah, that backboard is
Stop it.
Because that's a video. I hope it's posted somewhere.
She said she's all caps, absolutely not sharing.
But it's not posted anywhere, you think?
I mean, if she didn't want to share it on here, she definitely probably doesn't
shared
want to share
it on the family group. So you think like...
They shared the screenshots.
Oh, right. They didn't
proving that it was cheating. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to know what you guys think. Like, did she go far enough or did she go too far? Put your answers in the comments.
But you know what's not going too far, Sam?
Reading this next story.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go. My dad is having an affair and now my parents are blaming me for it.
Really? Blaming the child?
Yeah. I mean, the child was hooking up with the dad though. Just kidding. Today, I experienced the definition of F around and find out.
Okay.
Some backstory. Almost a year ago, my family experienced the loss of my grandpa, my dad's father. He started having more emotional outbursts, being more reclusive, etc., and we tried our best to be understanding and help him in any way he needed. He found himself a therapist and seemed to be working through a lot of his feelings and thoughts. He still wasn't acting entirely like him, but death affects everyone differently, and this made his behavior easy to excuse.
Right. Using it.
Just because you're dying doesn't mean you can be a dick.
Come on, bruh.
My dad and I don't live in the same city, and so we often meet up at halfway points for lunch. We've always been close, so it's commonplace for us to talk about our feelings, emotions, and recent life events with each other.
Oh.
Okay, so we got the backstory, John. Now into the story.
Oh, God.
The front story.
Oh.
During our first lunch since my grandpa's passing, I noticed my dad talking a lot about this new girl at his work. We'll call her Stacy. He said that Stacy was helping him a lot with his trauma and being there for him. You know, just helping like him with his emotional releases.
Yeah, he's got a lot to release.
He's got a lot of pent up emotions.
You know, they kind of just spill everywhere.
You should just lay down and relax.
Yeah.
You know?
Let him flow.
Let someone take care of it for him.
100%.
Stacy's husband has been through some similar traumas that my dad had experienced, and that was being brought up in therapy. So he said she offered him support. He really felt he could be himself around her. He made it abundantly clear that he did not feel he could be himself around his wife of 20 years, my mom, but that he could with Stacy. I thought this was an odd comment to make, and I think this is where my suspicions of their real intentions began. But I knew he was struggling, and it made me feel relieved that he had someone he trusted. It struck me a little weird that she was 29, but again, sometimes workplaces can create weird and unexpected friendships, and with me being 26, I wondered if maybe he saw her as another daughter since I wasn't able to be around much due to the distance.
Well, she does call him daddy.
He assured me that Stacy was married to a man named Andrew.
Well,
I assure you she's married.
Yeah.
I also assure you we're banging. They were strictly friends. But in his own words, people from his work had started to think something was going on between them.
Oh.
So they had stopped talking at work and had moved to texting. He even went so far as to later in the conversation say that he thinks a strong marriage should be able to survive someone cheating. What's with people saying like, oh, cheating makes a relationship stronger?
It's Sam, you got to go through the passages, the 7 rings of fire.
You gotta go through the crucible.
Baby, I'm doing you such a favor. You know how strong I want us to be?
Yeah, I cheated on you 7 times this week for us.
I cheat with every woman I see because I'm doing it for you, baby.
I assured him that that wasn't healthy and that I'm not sure what kind of relationship he wanted with his wife, but I did not want a relationship founded on infidelity. Obviously, my alarm bells were going off. With a little information I had on Stacy, I went and found her online.
Oh boy.
I stalked her, and just like my dad said, she was seemingly in a young, happy marriage with Andrew. She kept her social media pretty private, but from what I could see, she looked like your average 29-year-old woman. I couldn't possibly imagine what she would want with my dad, and if anything, I thought maybe my dad had a work crush that he was reading too much into. No one wants to think that their dad could be capable of a full-blown affair.
Yeah.
But some dads are.
Yep.
Some dads are. I also wonder, I want to know what her dad looks like. Is he DILF material?
Is he a silver fox? Does he look like Brad Pitt? The look Sam gave me, like no look I've ever received from him before.
For anyone who doesn't know, my dad constantly around the world gets told that he looks like Brad Pitt, to the point where he was in Spain. A group of school children asked to take pictures with him. It was just like, Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt.
Where's Angelina?
Oh, my mom told me to share this picture of my dad. This is Pops.
Dude, there he is.
And then this is one more.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So
he's got it.
He's got, yeah. I have something to look forward in my genes.
That's right.
Thanks, John, for that.
Woo! Yeah, there we go. Like father, like son.
Oh, man. Over the next few visits with my dad, I would hear him continually talk about Stacy when telling stories about work or talking about his friends. She always seemed to come up. I couldn't help but notice that he would avoid calling her by name. She would just be she or her or girl from work. It's as if he completely forgot the things he had told me about her, or as if he was afraid to say her name around me. Infidelity is never mentioned again, but he's always talking about how he's fighting with my mom, Lily. How as he goes through therapy, she might not like the man he's becoming because that man is cheating every day with this 29-year-old. He tells me how he's standing his ground and getting into verbal arguments with her. I imagine this is self-sabotage due to his guilt because of the cheating. Probably super true.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, about a year since I first heard about Stacy. I went on my laptop, which I do not use often. I opened Instagram and I realized I still had my dad's login credentials saved on my computer from a one-off back in 2016. My dad is and always has been sketchy with his passwords, so I assumed that likely it wouldn't work, but I tried the login anyways.
I love Emily 69. Yeah. I love Stacy 69.
To my surprise, I was in.
Oh God.
She cracked the code. I won't even pretend like I didn't know exactly what I was looking for or like I'm above looking through his DMs. This is also where I effed around and found out.
Oh no.
I opened their DMs, which were pretty bleak at first. I thought I could rest my suspicions, more like hoped, until I couldn't. It started out with sending corny photos to each other, things about, you can kiss me whenever you want, I'm yours, and your arms feel like home and I'm homesick.
Okay.
A little cute. A little cute. It's like, I feel like I'm home in your arms. Beat a shit.
Be an alpha like us.
Also, our producer Riley thought that women really, really like when men go,
yeah,
because he saw a sarcastic TikTok online.
Comment below. You're probably a woman watching this. Comment below if you like men barking.
Yeah, do you like men barking?
We will put it to test. Do you like that? Your snarl noises have always impressed me.
Yeah, thank you.
One of your best impressions.
Thank you.
There's that one too.
That's a pigeon.
That's pretty good.
Really juvenile, weird things I wouldn't send to a coworker if you paid me. Still in denial, I kept scrolling, and that's when I saw it. Nudies.
Oh.
Booty nudies.
No.
But the question is it from Papa or Stacy?
Is Stacy a mom? And does she have it going on?
She has it going on.
She apparently does.
She's not a mom, but she'll steal your dad.
Apparently.
Yeah, sorry. Put in the comments, would you rather see nudes from your dad or nudes from your mom?
Oh.
Answers in the comments. John, which nudes would you rather see?
Oh my God. The next sentence. Oh, which one would you want to see?
Sexting conversations about their existing partners and the potential of leaving them for each other. I love you conversations with their plans to sleep together for the first time, etc., etc., etc. You get the picture. They haven't even slept together. Weak sauce, dog. All of my suspicions were laid out in front of me. He was willing to risk it all for a married woman 3 years older than his daughter.
Yep.
He was willing to hurt the woman he had supposedly loved for 20 years, destroy his family, destroy Stacy's family for what? Absolute effing selfishness. The worst part for me was that they actively talk about their existing partners in this chat. Stacy's always making fun of my mom. Does Lily wear lacy bras for you? Does Lily let you go down on her with her bush? Did 9/11? Lol. As if Stacy.
What?
No, I heard bush. As if Stacy couldn't become more of a disgusting human, as if she's not already sleeping with a married 53-year-old of 2. She has to degrade his wife, an innocent victim in this situation. They assure each other that they love their current partner so much that it hurts, and they don't understand how they can have the capacity to love 2 people at the same time. It's disgusting and childish. And I don't know how it ends. They still work together closely. I cannot bring myself to tell my mom. I don't want my dad to know I know. I don't want him to feel backed into a corner like he has to tell my mom. I want him to tell my mom because he knows it's the right thing to do. I have looked up to my dad my whole life, and I feel like the whole view I have had of him as a selfless, loving, caring family man has been shattered. I'm so disappointed in his actions, and I don't know what to do. It's eating away at me. And I do have some edits, some comments, and a fat, juicy update. But what do you think, John? Do you think OP should tell the truth?
So we've had this predicament many times before on this show. And I think this is no different, where you go to the person who's cheating and you say, look, you need to tell this person that you're cheating. Now, do you give the ultimatum on like, tell her, or maybe it's like, hey, tell them I know, so just tell them. And then you, if you absolutely need to, enforce the I'll tell them if you don't, if they keep kicking the can down the road. I think that's the move.
Yeah, because like, I mean, you have an obligation to your mom, right?
Yes, exactly. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, ideally he tells, but obligation to the mom.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so some edits to clarify. I was told it would be beneficial to add that my parents do have a kid who is a minor who lives with them. I have not known about this affair the entire time. I found out about it on Thursday, so please stop saying that I'm intentionally holding a secret from my father. My parents share an email account, and I will not see my mom in person until probably Christmas. So here are some relevant comments. Stinstin555 says, armed with this info, I would set up a one-on-one meeting with mom and tell her and bring the evidence. In volatile situations like this, it is best to be proactive versus reactive. Advise her to go into stealth mode and to act like nothing is going on. Next steps: 1, help mom find 2 to 3 divorce attorneys and schedule the consult. The consult is usually free. Have her present the circumstances and find out their approach. She can then decide whose style she likes most and retain them. Have her gather the following documents: A, last 3 years of tax returns; B, 12 months bank statements, retirement account statements, investment statements; C, copies of mortgage deed title to the home; D, if they own a vacation or rental real estate, make copies of those docs from C; E, 12 months worth of credit card statements, cell phone bills. Have your mom try to see if she can get access to his wallet while he is sleeping, and if so, check if there's any new credit cards. If she finds them, screenshot them. What state are you in? Depending on the answer, infidelity may qualify her for a fault for the divorce filing.
Ooh.
Helping her prepare for this will give her a leg up for a softer landing. If you can find the info for her affair partner, spouse, she can and should make contact the day your dad is served. By the way, he can be served at work, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And OP replied, I've decided to take your advice. I'm going to tell my mom, as she deserves to have the upper hand in the decision making, since my father has been the holder of all the decisions for the past months, unbeknownst to her. I'm currently just waiting for a time when she is not around my dad so I can call her and drop the bomb. They're currently driving up to their cottage together, so it doesn't feel fair for me to not let her have room to grieve / figure out her next move. I will post an official update when I have one, most likely Monday when she goes into work. And here is the update we've all been waiting for, boys and girls. October 23rd. So I finally called my mom. Her and my dad had spent the day together at their cottage, so I waited until they were home and then asked if she could go somewhere alone so we could talk on the phone. Her reaction was nothing like I imagined. She sounded like she already knew.
Okay.
Her reaction also made me feel like this wasn't the first time this has happened. She laughed and asked me what I thought I saw. She blamed herself and said that she doesn't meet my dad's needs. I explained to her that it's not fair and that she doesn't deserve to be lied to and cheated on and put at risk for STDs. I said the way they spoke about my mom in the chat was disgusting and that this was wrong. She asked to see screenshots, so I sent them to her. She kept reassuring me that her and my dad were in it for the long haul and wouldn't divorce.
I wonder if he's got her like brainwashed into thinking all this.
What if she's cheating too?
Whoa.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's true. But
anything's possible.
Maybe they have some kind of agreement.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an open relationship and she doesn't want to tell OP.
Maybe. Yeah. That seems pretty plausible.
Because why would you be so calm and collected about it?
It is weird, right? It is very strange.
I told her I didn't care about that. I said no matter her decision, I supported her either way. Even though it wasn't what I was anticipating, I felt relieved. I felt like a weight had been lifted. She thanked me for telling her and said that I would always be her sweet girl. Everything seemed to be going well until she spoke to / confronted my dad and called me back. I don't know what happened with the conversation between her and my dad, but it's clear that he is a master manipulator and not at all the person I thought he was prior to all this.
Yep.
My mom's tone had completely shifted on the phone. She was scolding me. He confirmed the affair. He confirmed everything I had said and brought forward to her. And somehow they're blaming me. They're telling me I'm wrong. My mom told me that she's read all the screenshots I sent, but had nothing to say about them. They're staying together, and in her words, this is just a bump in the road. They've had highs and lows. They'll have lows again. I'm sure they will with this cheating fucking scumbag that she's married with.
Right?
I said I would support her either way, so I can't be mad, but I can't help but be sad at how low she thinks of herself to accept this behavior. I love your dad and he loves me. What a horrible message to send to your child. Fucking crazy.
It really is, though.
I mean, this is like even a worse response than what it was initially. Because now it's like, not only do I not really care or expect this kind of behavior to me, but you are a terrible daughter for bringing this up.
Yeah, it's very clear that the dad has just, maybe over all the years they've been married, he's just been slowly like kind of brainwashing her the whole time up to this point.
She told me that guilt does bad things to people and that she thinks I got myself worked up over nothing. She told me I was wrong to look at his Instagram messages and that it was a breach of trust. Ironic, considering my dad committed the biggest breach of trust there is in a marriage.
Hello.
I also never would have looked at his messages had he not planted this seed of infidelity in my brain. She explained my dad is very angry with me and she doesn't know if our relationship is repairable.
Really?
I assumed my dad would be mad at me, of course, but for my mom to seemingly side with him and turn her back on me too is almost too much to take.
Insane.
I never would have expected this.
No, I wouldn't have either.
So bad.
Golly.
How do you get to that point, dude?
It's got to be, I mean, look, they're 53. They have a 26-year-old daughter, which means they've been together in some form or fashion for at least probably those 26 years, something like that. That's a long time to be able to slowly chip away and convince someone that you need me to, do these things to serve me, that kind of thing. But it's just so sad. It's so insane.
Yikes, dude. Yeah. Freaking yikes. I know she's being manipulated, but this is where it ends, I guess. I can't stand to look at either of them. I feel like I was just orphaned. I can't fight a fight no one wants me to on their behalf. Deep down, I know I'm not to blame for this, don't get me wrong, but it's really hard to not feel awful when your parents whom you've trusted turn their back on you, especially when she's trying to do something that she feels is right.
Totally.
You know? I do feel like I did right by myself in telling my mom the truth, but I can't help but think that everything would have been easier if I never said anything. My dad still follows Stacy. He has blocked me and my fiance on all social media platforms. He's quite literally showing that he chooses his affair partner over his daughter. God. I know he's reacting out of embarrassment and anger, but I blocked him in return. He doesn't get to choose when he comes back in my life. All of this hurts a lot, and there is some relevant comments and some updates.
Let's get into it.
Agorious Bum says, like you said, this wasn't the first time, and it may well be that they already have an understanding about extramarital affairs, and that may run both ways, which is kind of what we said earlier.
Maybe, but at this point, I feel like it would be said, right? Like, hey,
yeah, like me and
I'm not worried because we're in an open relationship or something along those lines.
And why would you
blame the daughter?
Because if she doesn't know, all right, if I had an open relationship with, if I was the dad and the mom, if I was the dad and I had an open relationship with my partner and I had a kid and the kid was like to my mom, look what the dad's doing. The mom would be like, honey, I appreciate what you're doing, but it's wrong of you to snoop on your father's stuff. And also there's something we haven't told you, open marriage, right?
Yes.
And then bam, it's fine. But that should be like, I feel like that should be communicated to the kid. And
they're literally blaming her at this point. So it's like, I feel like the possibility at this point of the open marriage is like out of the window.
Yeah, but maybe there has to be an understanding if their wife is acting this way, right?
Maybe the understanding is the dad is just freaking got the wife wrapped around his finger.
Yeah, it seems more like a manipulation rather than an understanding.
100%.
So notifying her didn't tell her much she didn't already know. Instead, just made it awkward for her to discuss it with you. Ultimately, people are complicated and you don't know their sexual history, which predates your existence. It is and will remain fundamentally unknowable to you. Your dad is a piece of shit, though, for how he reacted to you. And OP replies, in Stacy and my dad's DMs, they both outlined the fallout they believe would occur if their respective partners found out about the affair. I don't believe even if my mom and dad have a don't ask, don't tell policy, like another Redditor suggested, that it is a two-way street. But you're absolutely correct. I don't know their agreements within their marriage, nor do I want to, lol. Seeing the things that my dad has said in his DMs was way more than I ever needed to know. I do find my dad's reaction of anger very telling, though. Honestly, the relationship I have with my dad, he probably would have just told me their agreement had there been one. And then Chrissy Lee 90 says, have you ever asked your mother if she'd expect you to stay in that situation if you were in her shoes? If she says no, I asked her what example she thinks she's setting by doing so herself.
Great point.
You can support her and distance yourself from the situation and from them. Them blaming you for telling the truth is wrong and separate of the support for what she chooses. And you can also support her and choose to limit or forgo the relationship you have with your father entirely. I have a feeling when your wedding approaches, your father is going to want to play perfect dad in all the events and pictures. Will you allow him to? And then OP replies, when it comes to my mom, I told her I would support her either way. As much as I don't agree with her choice, I'm not in her position and I don't know what kind of factors are coming into play for her to stay. Who knows? They could be waiting for my younger brother to move out before they call it quits. For now, I am no contact with my father and I'm willing to be low contact with my mom, but no one has spoken to me since, so I think it might be no contact with all. As it stands currently, I don't anticipate inviting my father to my wedding, which is really hard to stomach. We never planned for a big wedding, so his presence was definitely going to be a big one on our day. Yeah. Unless something is massively repaired during that time, I don't need the added stress. And that is a wrap. That's where OP leaves it. Complicated.
Very complicated. I mean, it just sounds like the dad has somehow tricked the wife into, being like, oh, I didn't satisfy him. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. That's why there's a justifiable reason. We'll get stronger for it. Like,
Yep.
Man, if that strengthened relationships, then their relationship would be a diamond at this point, because that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. I mean, this is what leads to the question. Let's say you have an unconventional or like kind of secret marital understanding.
Yeah.
Do you / when do you tell your children? If you have an open marriage, and actually some people in the comments have told us they have open marriages. There was a bunch of open marriage comments recently. Let me search that up really quick. But if you have an open marriage, and you have children, at what point do you tell your children? Because eventually some curious child is going to be like, why is mommy always coming back with, hickeys when daddy isn't here?
That's true.
They're going to investigate and they're going to be like, oh, my parents are cheating on each other. And then do you get ahead of it?
I'm
if you had an open relationship, what would you do?
I kind of want to ask a side question to that, which is, do you have to?
Do you have to tell your children?
Because I totally hear what you say. Like, chances are like something, could come out and then they have to reveal it. But like, if you think about, your parents' life of doing it, does it need to be publicly known to the kid? I don't know. I think it's an interesting question or kind of thought experiment to ask.
Yeah.
Because their sex life is private with the two of them. Does that not carry over if they're consensually having other partners in the mix as well?
I mean, I think it does carry over. Obviously, like, your sex life is not broadcasted to your children.
Right.
But in this case, it's like, will they eventually find out? And if they do find out, do you get situations like this?
Well, it sounds like this guy's like just straight up cheating.
Right. But even like let's assume they did have an understanding.
Right.
Like this kid goes through this whole whirlwind of emotions to discover that it's okay. I remember we were talking about a story, and it was like, when is the right time to tell your children about sex or drugs or whatever?
Yeah.
And
4.
Huh?
4.
Well, someone said when they ask.
Oh.
And I thought that was like,
damn, that's a bar. That is a parenting bar.
It's a parenting bar, but is that even true? Because I never asked my parents about that stuff because I felt like it was too awkward.
You're right. In an ideal world, they do. And then it's like, but I think 99% of kids will not ask, actually, now that I think about it.
Also, this is somewhat related. Dagger Girl 253 commented on one of our videos. We opened our marriage and he wasn't getting the attention, so he asked to close it. I'm not really sure what to do now.
Girl. So you got many takers.
Maybe help your hubby out,
Lend him some of your Riz.
Be his wingman.
There we go.
Actually, that's a good solution. If your hubby's not getting action,
if you're in a truly like open marriage to that sense, then help your husband sleep with somebody else. Woo!
I mean, I think that's the only option if you don't want to close the marriage, right?
That's it.
Also, I think the opening of the marriage should be mutual, and the continuation of the opening should be mutual too.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Put your answers below. I want to know from all of our open relationship.
That's right.
Hoes and hoettes.
We're curious.
But
Not
that you're hoes. I'm just to be clear.
To set the record straight.
Set the record straight. To all of our humans,
our beautiful people
doing other beautiful people,
indeed,
outside of their marriage. Well, I guess in their marriage, because the marriage is open. The marriage contains the whole world. That is true. Yeah, let us know in the comments below. I think that's a wrap on this episode, yeah?
It's a double episode, baby.
Oh, just kidding. We're continuing going to this next story.
Let's get it. My wife's last wish is to sleep with her coworker. I said yes, then everything changed.
Dude, these Make-A-Wish kid wishes are getting crazier and crazier.
My wife and I have been married since 2001 and been together since 1999. She's the most intelligent, thoughtful, caring, and loyal person I know, and I've always thought of myself as fortunate to have met and married her. She is, even today, aesthetically beautiful, and men have told her this throughout our marriage.
Nice.
But she has always shot them down.
Let's go. Loyal wife. We love it.
That's true. Earlier this year, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer, stage 1, and had a full hysterectomy. I was never concerned about the cancer. It was diagnosed early, dealt with quickly, and she made a full recovery.
Oh, she's not even going to die?
Maybe not. I mean,
okay.
We don't know yet. I took time off work to care for her after the surgery, and all seemed well. There were some to be expected emotional instances on her part, and although I'm not an emotional person, we dealt with them together. After her recovery, she was insistent that we start living life to the fullest and took a 10-day trip to Europe, followed by a trip to Belize. Damn,
Belize.
Please believe.
That is Party City over there.
Ooh. What's happening? What's going on? We throwing down?
There
getting
was
around?
An ex that when we broke up, she went to Belize and told me a story that was burned in my mind.
Oh.
Don't go to Belize.
Don't go to Belize, guys.
Unless you want to get double teamed.
We also have a trip to the UK and Spain/Portugal later this year. I am fine with these things, building memories and crossing bucket list adventures off her and our list. I also understand that these are a result of feeling fragile on her part. She also took up yoga, swimming, and healthy cooking classes.
Dude, she sounds lit. She sounds sick.
Great. She's like transforming her life. It sounds like.
It sounds like she's actually living to the fullest.
Yeah. I was fully on board until last week.
Was waiting for that until
last week when she came home from work and told me that she wanted a hall pass, a one-time opportunity for her to do the nasty with someone else besides me. She said that since her cancer diagnosis, her outlook on life has changed and she doesn't want to be handcuffed from doing things she wants to do.
Dang. But does it stop at one hall pass,
She explained that there's this guy at her work that she has always had some attraction to. He is leaving the company and she will never see him again. So This is the perfect opportunity to sleep with someone else.
I mean, at least it's contained. Yeah, there's another until.
We're not the until yet, but hey, we could get there. She said that I could say no, of course, but that she would be mad/disappointed at me for an intermediate amount of time that would be confirmation of my male toxicity and insecurity.
Shut the fuck up, dude. That is some major gaslighting. Like, you could say no, babe, and I would totally understand. And I would just understand it's because of your toxic masculinity and tiny penis.
I would just understand you're such a horrible piece of person and horrible in bed, by the way.
You're super insecure. I just understand that you're like a terrible husband. Tell me if that's fucked up. Put it in the chat if you think it is.
I don't consider myself to be toxic. And if not wanting your wife of 20 plus years to be intimate with someone else is insecure, then I guess I'm insecure. I told her that I appreciated her talking to me about this, but approval via coercion is not approval.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
Fight the good fight.
That's right. I also said that I do not appreciate her language in describing my, as of yet, unknown reaction to this very large issue that could affect the rest of our marriage/life. I got up in the morning and she basically said that she was sorry for putting such a large decision solely on my shoulders and that to help, she was making the decision away from me.
So I'm just going to do it anyway. What does that mean?
She booked a hotel near where her coworkers are having a party/send-off for this guy. And she would spend the night there with him and hoped that I would be here when she got back.
She's being like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to tell you.
Is it better or worse?
I think better that she says it.
Yeah.
But then you have the option of being like, this is not a relationship I want to be in anymore.
That's true. But also just like the experience of knowing that she's going down. Like you
call this man an ambulance, bro. Because this guy is critical. Down.
Criminal levels of treatment here.
Dude. Man. I mean, like the thing is, it's like not a conversation.
No, she's like either I'm gaslighting you into saying yes or I'm just doing it.
And this is not what he agreed on when he entered the relationship. So I think he has a full license to leave, as does she, if that now she wants to leave, but not cool on her part. I don't think.
No, I would say no. That she would answer any questions I have about the night after it happened, but not before. What are these weird rules that she has? She will not tell me who he is or anything about him because she knows me too well and that I will dwell and obsess over him and that it would make it too real for me, which is pretty accurate.
It's pretty fucking real.
Pretty freaking real. Her POV is that the less I know, the better, which contradicts the offer to tell me anything I want to know after it happened. I think she knows I won't want to know/ask anything, or she will simply not tell me. Part of me thinks at least she has been honest with me, and she has been through a lot since finding out that she had cancer, so maybe I should just let it happen. I certainly have no concept of what she went through, so I cannot dismiss how this affected her mental state/outlook on life.
It affected it a lot, obviously.
Yeah, apparently. Part of me wants to put my foot down and say this is not going to happen and deal with those consequences when they happened. Her BFF calls me callous for even suggesting I wouldn't let it happen because I have no idea what she went through.
All right. So I would love to get a hall pass too?
I would love to see the BFF's partner say the same thing to them
you know
and see what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tables turn, pal. I find it hard to believe that she's okay with the possibility of throwing away 20 plus years of marriage over some guy that she has had no relationship with outside of work.
I think she's thinking it's going to be fine. I don't think she's realizing the consequences.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that because that makes it easier for her to like talk about it so nonchalantly like she is, right? And that maybe I should just call her bluff. Maybe she thinks similarly that I won't throw away the marriage because of one encounter. I just don't know what to do. I empathize with her and then an instant later, I'm angry with her. Part of me wants to know who this guy is. What does he look like? What has he got that is so enthralling for her? Is he just a safe option? Is he married? Does his wife know? Would I be a callous asshole for saying no? What could I do besides walking away? We do have some comments and an update to get into, But
I think at the core, what she's doing is not taking into account his feelings or what he believes the marriage is built on. So like it seems like what has happened is it's changed her, like this near death experience has changed her a lot. And she's like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. But the consequence of doing what you want to do always is some people won't want to do it with you.
Hello? Like I could see maybe she comes to him and she's like, look, I have gone through this like insanely life-changing thing. It's made me completely change how I view my life in the world. And honestly, I am having some of these thoughts and feelings, like, to be completely honest. And, you know, I wanted to tell you that, like, something along those lines.
Yeah, it needs to be a conversation.
It needs to be a conversation. Yeah, 100%. But let's see what some of the commenters had to say.
They're probably saying divorce.
Yeah.
Divorce chants in the comments.
Divorce. Kind of think this is the way your marriage will be from now on. With her epiphany, she wants to relive her life, and she's going to do it regardless of your feelings. I think she's being rather selfish and probably only threatens this because she thinks you are beaten down and will simply put up with it. Perhaps not the best time for trips and frills. She wants the single life. Let her see what that means. OP replies, she thinks because she will never see this guy again and that I have never met him supposedly, that it will not really affect me or a marriage in the long term. Which, like, the never seeing him again thing is BS, because, like, yeah, you could, like, not that she should, but, like, you could meet up somewhere.
Have numbers. There are planes.
Like, what are we talking about? She can meet up
whenever she wants.
Yeah, 100%. It's like,
and she's shown that she'll take a 10-day trip to Europe, no problem.
Yeah, right? He has taken a new job as a colony on Mars to rebuild the human population. This is my one night. The man, Elon Musk.
Dude, Elon Musk is all about rebuilding the population.
Dude,
he has like 30 kids, bro.
My man is ready to build a colony.
Out.
Whew. OP goes on in the response, I am left with accepting it and never viewing her the same way again, or going through a divorce at 54. Not really great options on either front. I don't know where her head is, and the bout with cancer is affecting her in ways that I couldn't possibly imagine. I don't think she believes I will leave.
Damn, dude. The game of poker right here. Relationship poker.
We're about to get into the update. Everyone watching right now, Mr. Samuel Donner, do we think OP's going to leave the relationship?
I think he's going to leave. I think he's going to leave. I want to know what y'all think. Put your answers in the comments. But I think that comment about, like, this is prepare for the rest of your relationship because this is what you're going to get. If she starts believing that she can do whatever she wants and with no respect for what OP wants, then she's going to continue to do that.
She'll floor it past all the boundaries.
And, like, I think at the very least, saying like, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm not for this. I think we should get a divorce. Maybe they get back together at some point, and she has the perspective of like, oh shit, I should have been talking to him about like meeting in the middle more at the 100%. Very least, you know?
If she does indeed actually still want the relationship.
If she does, she's actually going to have to want it and show that she wants it.
But you know what I want?
You want to read this update.
Yeah, I do. On to the updates. I received a ton of advice I couldn't possibly all respond to. I do appreciate the people who took time to offer advice in the comments or via personal message. It's been an exhausting past couple of days.
I'm sure.
I can only imagine. I was hoping that my opposition to her plans would give her pause, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yikes. She went through with it?
I said, I am a hard no, and I'm not sure how I will feel about you if you go ahead with it. I was met with, once again, this is for me. It will be a one-time thing. What can I say to help you deal with it? You'll get over it. We were meant to be regardless of this situation. All of those are remarks leading up to Saturday. Ooh. She left on Saturday, ostensibly to meet her coworkers, but in reality, get down and dirty with the other guy. I asked her to text me when she was leaving for the bar, and when she did, I asked her if she was really going to go through with this. After her response, I am not answering any more questions tonight. I will see you tomorrow. I blocked my wife. Then I did something either stupid or brilliant. I went to the bar where the get-together was happening. It's getting really real.
Oh, this is messy.
Well, not the bar, but a transit bench across the street. I waited for a long time. It was running through my mind the leading up to this event that I need to know who this guy was, maybe to compare myself against him. Oh, that's not good. That's not good, OP. To see what he had that I do not.
Oh, OP.
It was driving me crazy not knowing who he was and what was so special about him that she would ruin a marriage for. After what seemed like an eternity, a woman I recognized from my wife's office left the bar and got into a cab. Soon, other people started filing out and a whole group came out and people were hugging a man and shaking his hand. I assumed I had my guy.
Oh.
I didn't see my wife and had a brief thought that maybe she called it all off. I unblocked her and there was no new messages. Everyone said their goodbyes and left. The dude was standing outside for a few minutes and then my wife came out.
No.
And it wouldn't be the last time. She looked around, took his hand, and started walking away together. All the emotions I went through, trepidation, sadness, anger, it was disgust that really encapsulated this event for me. This guy was short, fat, and bald. All of the things that I cannot compete with. Wait, what? Ultimately, I felt like a perv for watching from a distance. I followed until they got to the hotel and then turned around and went home. I woke up Sunday morning and put a lock on the master bedroom door. I moved her things to the spare room and left a note asking her to find other accommodations as quickly as possible. I visited another friend who is a lawyer and he gave me some sage advice and a couple of recommendations for divorce attorneys and made the introductions.
Wow, he's going through with it.
He's doing it. My wife had been calling me numerous times since around 11 or so. Once the block calls go to voicemail. I listened to the first couple, but felt nothing but satisfaction when she couldn't get through to me and she was obviously becoming concerned. I didn't want to go home, but I left in such a hurry that I didn't plan an overnight properly. I got home around 9 as per my buddy's advice and I recorded the interaction. I was halfway up the stairs when she came up from the family room asking me what was going on. Could we talk? I thought we had talked about this. I just answered with, I'm not interested in discussing this tonight, and I went to bed. After not getting a response from me through the door, she left me alone. I felt like a child for not talking with her and shutting the door on her, but I just couldn't look at her. Which,
I mean, hey, understandable.
Give
dude.
my man a little time.
Dude.
One night.
Fucking, she hooked up with Danny DeVito, and you're fucking like destroyed.
Not Danny DeVito.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger pulled up.
Yep. Oh God.
Monday, I got up and ready for work. She was waiting for me and asked if we could discuss getting back to normal. I said, you have been doing all the talking for both of us for the last week. Why don't you continue? And I left for work. I have an appointment with the attorneys my friend recommended for this week.
So he's going through with it.
He's doing it, which, I mean, think about this too. While his wife was dealing with the situation with the hysterectomy and the cancer, which, okay, maybe they were pretty confident they could beat it, but still a very scary, like just not at all fun thing to go through. He was there.
He was there.
And he didn't go into detail, but I'm assuming that he did support her and obviously at least stayed with her as he should. So it's just kind of like, I know that she's gone through all this stuff and it's like her worldview has changed, but like we said, she could do this in a completely different way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something like opening up a marriage, even for a night, that is not a steamroll conversation. Like, it is something that could be done. Maybe she could have made him feel okay.
Yeah.
But it's not something you say my way or the highway, because you're going to be kicked out on that highway, dude. And you're going to have to hitchhike back home.
You be a hitchhiking bum.
You're a hitchhiking bum, dude, because your husband ain't picking up that ass.
On to update 2. My lawyer wasn't available for a few days, so I was faced with the reality of having to live with my wife in the interim. I really didn't want to go home and have any discussion, let alone a discussion about our relationship. When I did get home, I was basically ambushed by her friends and my mother-in-law. Instead of them taking the remorseful approach, they decided that a full court press was what the situation warranted, and I was basically berated by them.
For what? For what?
For not letting his wife
get railed by Danny DeVito?
Yeah. The BFF was definitely the ringleader, but all of them decided to say things such as, she's been through a lot. You don't know what she's been through. You have no idea what it's like to face something like this. This is a one-time thing. At least she told you. She could have hidden it from you. She will never see that guy again. And my favorite, you are an a-hole for what you have been putting her through the last couple of days. How are all of these people so delusional?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they were like, hey, like, you should just do it, girl. Just do it, you know?
Oh, not the girls gassing her
Girl,
up.
you gotta do it. You gotta do what's right for you.
Party
you had
time.
cancer, and you know what? You know what cancer means? Fuck Danny DeVito.
God. I listened with a dumbass smirk on my face, and when there was a lull in their fury, I asked them if they were all done now. Then I asked my wife if there was anyone in her circle of friends or anyone else that she forgot to tell about this. I quietly informed all of them that I was going to sit down with their husbands and tell them about how they verbally abused me, shaming me, and trying to coerce me into staying with a cheater.
How are those husbands gonna feel about that?
After I told them to leave, I said that I had no say in the entire event, and so they have no say in whether I stay or not. My soon-to-be ex-wife sort of apologized. She said that she regretted the entire thing. I said there's a difference between regret and remorse. That is true. You regret what happened because of cause and effect. You have regret because your life will never be the same. Our relationship will never be the same because you are wholly and willfully unconcerned about me and what I wanted. Speak truth to power, OP.
Fuck yeah.
She asked if I had any questions that she would answer them now, no matter how disturbing. I said the one question I do have is why? Not necessarily why this guy, why this low-end, unattractive, unfit guy, but why someone else in the first place. She said that the cancer scared her to her core. She felt like she was rushing toward mortality and stepping out of the tunnel was appealing. She said that after all this time of being a wife and a mother and worrying about family, this was something just for her, an escape. The guy was just someone who was interested in her for a long enough time that she knew wouldn't say no and was completely the opposite to me. What is this logic?
Yeah, short, ugly, and bald versus OP, which is tall, ripped, handsome, and a full head of hair.
Oh, yeah. Some people say he looks like Brad Pitt. I'm sorry. This is a good one, though. OP's okay. This is the last time I'm ever saying it. That's the last time I'm ever saying it. You can cut that out.
You can put the picture of my dad.
It's the last time. It's the last one. I promise all my life.
I don't mind it. I think it's funny.
I said if I was going to risk my marriage, the woman would have to be a serious upgrade from you. Whoa. Yeah, my man's going in. I told her that I saw you and him coming out of the bar that night. I watched you walk away from the bar hand in hand towards the hotel. I said that you looked too familiar with each other and asked if there was something going on before all this. She said no, but who knows if that's the truth or not.
Yeah.
I said that after all our years together, your lack of respect for me was astonishing. I finished by saying that I would never be able to look at myself in the mirror again if I condoned that level of disrespect and stayed with you. I said, I hope we can go our separate ways amicably and that I have an appointment with a lawyer later in the week. I again asked her to find some other accommodations and she simply said, I'm not going anywhere. We are not getting a divorce. I will give you all the time you need and do whatever you need to recover from this. We will get past this. She has asked me to go to marriage counseling, to which I refused.
Wow.
Why would I go to counseling? I did nothing to warrant needing a therapist's advice. I had served her and gave her a notice to vacate. The house is my premarital asset. If you ain't no chump, we want a prenup. She has moved in with her mom, but I found her constantly coming by to see if I need anything or making suggestions like, what if we had an open relationship only on your side or threesomes?
Damn, she's trying to give man every cookie she can think of.
Which seems kind of desperate and pathetic. Rebuffing her constantly and telling her that she has to call to ask permission before coming by finally seems to be getting through to her that there is no us going forward.
Dang.
She has said that she will drag the divorce out for as long as possible, but so far has been compliant. The worst part of all is telling my daughter that we're going to get a divorce and why.
How old's the daughter? Probably like 20s.
Yeah, have to 20 years of marriage. So bare minimum, probably a legal adult.
Yeah.
And followed closely by my daughter begging me to give her mom another chance. That's
gotta be soul crushing, dude. That's gotta be hard. Because it's one thing to have like your wife's like BFFs and mom or whatever to say, give her a second chance, but have your daughter, that's going to be heart wrenching.
That is tough.
Oh.
I am not sure I would have afforded the same consideration if I was the one who was cheating. There's a comment. After vacating the house, is she feeling remorse, or is she still thinking you need to get over it as of today? Going no contact with her should be easy since the daughter is an adult. What desperate measures has she taken that you haven't mentioned in your post and comments? She was stoic and held her position right up until she was served. Then she became visibly upset and resorted to begging, pleading, and bargaining.
Barking?
Bargaining.
Oh, bargaining.
Divorce.
Is that attractive? Riley needs to know because he believed that was attractive.
Please tell us in the comments.
Is barking attractive to women?
But we have another update.
What?
There's not too much to report. We are in the process of now getting a divorce. However, where we live, we must legally be separated for 1 year. My soon-to-be ex-wife has said that she will give me whatever I want in the divorce if I agree to attend marriage counseling. I am not interested. Plus, remember, he has the house full and outright.
Right. Yeah, so he has whatever he wants already. Yeah.
There was a bit of back and forth while we worked out what separation looks like in everyday life from this point forward. As a result, we have only just agreed to the confines of legal separation. So as we move towards the defining divorcing language, maybe my stance might change. The house was a premarital asset, so she has no claim to it. The only things she could go after are my pension, vehicles, and vacation property, but I would counter that she has lived rent-free for 20 plus years and has her own money plus inheritance from her father. Which I don't know how it works, but I could imagine that she could probably go hard for some of that's still a lot of assets.
Yeah, she could probably go after that.
I may have an offer to top up in retirement as she wants to be a stay-at-home mom while our daughter was young, but that would be the most at this point. I received a lot of messages about her friend group and my daughter, so I will clear up any misconceptions now. My daughter isn't taking her mother's side. She has always been a mama's girl, but she is very unhappy with her mom right now. Her initial reaction was just shocked and holding out that we would work through any issues and stay together. Now she accepts that that's not going to happen and that she will be limiting her interactions with her, but at the end of the day, she is still her mom. The friend group husbands were upset at the level of complicity of their wives in aiding and abetting the contact and cheating and made them cut my wife out of their lives.
Whoa.
But that seems to have been forgotten at this point. The BFF was the ringleader and seems to have taken perverse pleasure in actively creating scenarios where they would be in contact. At the very least, encouraging to the point of causing her husband to question her motives. But it turns out she didn't like me at all, and this was her way of sticking to me. I guess she wins. The BFF's husband said that there were some sexting in his wife's messages, but said he is dealing with it.
Whoa.
So she was cheat.
Goes deep. Deep.
We did meet up with him being apologetic for his wife's complicity, but it is not his fault and we just want to move on. I have decided to not date anyone for a while. I will not be getting married ever again.
Dang.
So that is it. I doubt I will post again unless she wins the lottery and I find it in my heart to forgive her.
Wow, OP, you've been through a lot.
Yeah,
you've been through a lot. I'm glad that, you know, it seems like OP is very concrete in his resolve.
Yes.
Which is as good of a thing that you can ask for. Like, shitty situation, but at least OP knows that this is the right decision for him.
You got to give. I think he did a pretty good job of like standing up for himself
his ground,
in a very healthy way and just being like, I just don't deserve to be treated like this.
I literally don't think he did. The only thing is like maybe following the wife and seeing the guy.
That was a little weird, unnecessary.
But I don't think there's anything else that he did that was wrong. Like I feel like he handled the whole situation extremely well.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what would you do if you were OP and your partner came with you saying, I want one hall pass, please? Would you shut it down immediately and say divorce? Would you entertain it? Let us know.
Put it in the comments.
And we have one more.
Oh, geez.
We got one more story for you all in this monster episode.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. My girlfriend is convinced I'm cheating, so she keeps snooping on my phone. I can't take it anymore, so here's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to snoop on her phone. A little snoop for Snoop.
Yeah. You know, you got your Snoop cat and you got your Snoop dog.
Bow wow.
Bow wow. Chasing around the town. Also, this is from our beautiful r/OKOP show community on our subreddit.
Ow, ow.
All right, let's get into the story. For context, my girlfriend and I have been dating for a little more than a year. Ever since we started dating, she has always had insecurities about me cheating on her. As much as I understand her feelings, I sometimes get the same insecurities. It's starting to take a huge weight on our relationship. First of all, I got 2 phones, one for my girlfriend and one for my lover.
Okay, Kevin Gates.
Just kidding. I have 2 phones. One that I use every day regularly and another one when I'm gaming. I play games like Minecraft and Stardew Valley, so I need 2 phones to search some stuff online about the games or to put music while I'm gaming so I don't kill my phone's battery. Damn, that's dedication, dude.
So he's a phone gamer.
He's a phone gamer.
Okay. Okay.
Bro, at least be a PC gamer or something, dude.
Yeah.
I never use a second phone for anything else. It's taking some dust on the side until I have time to game a little more. Second, I work in sales. That means I go on work trips once a month to promote different products. And I've noticed when I come back to our apartment that the second phone has been used for like 15 minutes on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Facebook Messenger.
It's almost just enough time to check someone's DMs on all those platforms.
For some nudies.
Ooh.
I confronted my girlfriend about it and she shared with me her insecurities. We talked it out and I thought I calmed down her stress and anxiety of me cheating when I'm away. Mind you, I am obsessed with this girl. She's everything I've looked for in my past relationships. Yes, we have our issues like any couple, but we have good communication when we need to. I never thought about cheating on her physically or even emotionally. It has never crossed my mind, even if I've got a few girls flirting with me on different occasions.
Okay, Mr. Big Man.
Big man. I always turned them down and said really clearly that I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend. Recently, I've noticed that my girlfriend has been going through my phone at least once a day to check my messages and exchanges with family, friends, and even customers. Mind you, my work field requires me to keep contact with potential customers and build a good relationship with them so they end up buying my products. I talk with them only for work, rarely on more personal topics. But the last straw, John, straw was this morning.
Oh, God.
I left for work as usual when I got to the office, and I noticed a notification from WhatsApp that said a code has been requested to log into a different phone, which meant my girlfriend tried to log into my WhatsApp account to check my messages again. If you don't know what WhatsApp is, you can only access it through one device at a time, not 2. So you need to log out from one to log into a second. And even for that, you need a password that will be sent to the first one to confirm the change.
Right.
It's really well protected. Again, I use WhatsApp to talk with customers and coworkers since a lot of them have phone numbers from different countries. Now, my patience with her insecurities has run its course. I messaged her saying that once I'm back home, I will change my second phone's password and I will turn off my location until she fully trusts me, since nothing ever happened concerning cheating since we dated. She told me it stresses her out and will just feed her insecurities. So here's where I could be the asshole.
Okay.
I basically told her that after a year, it wasn't my responsibility to reassure her every day about her insecurities, and she needs to work on it by herself, which I think is true.
I mean, she does. It can't get to this point.
Yeah,
like it cannot get to this level.
Yeah, I mean, like this is overstepping, I think, like the boyfriend girlfriend trust dynamic.
At a bare minimum, can't do the actions based on it.
I've tried everything to gain her trust and nothing ever works. So I give up. I'll change my passwords and turn off my location until further notice. She's calling me an asshole for being insensitive towards her feelings, and by changing passwords / turning off my location, it just shows her that she's right for doubting me since I have stuff to hide. Bro, you haven't found anything in like a year of searching. What does he have to hide?
And like deep intent, not just like, oh, like looking through his
she's
phone
been
when
deep
it's
perusing.
Deep.
Like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I told her that if she absolutely needs to know where I'm breathing my daily dose of oxygen and who I'm talking to so she ain't stressing out, she needs a dog, not a romantic relationship. Bam!
That's such a like hilarious
comeback. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You need a dog.
You
need
a dog.
You
snooping so much, you need a dog.
Oh, goodness.
And that's a wrap, dude.
Wow.
So what do you think? Is OP right in saying that?
You know, I mean, yeah, there's like maybe a better way of saying it, but yeah, essentially he's right. Like you can't let your insecurities, you can't just do anything you want and something that's harmful to the partner and trust of the relationship because of your insecurities.
Exactly.
Right?
There's a certain point where your insecurities are damaging the relationship, and I think they've reached that point.
And there's a level of also like letting go and trusting.
Yeah, that's what trust is.
Yeah.
Trust is, not knowing where your partner is all the time and trusting that they are going to be doing well by the relationship.
But what about tracking his every move?
That's true. What about air tags in everyone's shoes?
In his shoes, in his car, everywhere?
In his mouth, implanted in his penis.
Oh, God.
Yum. But that, I think, is the end of our double mega freaking episode. I hope you guys liked it.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. And if you have any crazy cheating stories, you should call us right now. It's 440-508-6567. We are taking your calls and reacting to them and giving you advice from them. So please call us. We'd love to hear it. Or if you're more of a typing kind, you can go to r/okopshow on Reddit to submit your stories there.
Send them in. See you next time.
See you soon.